Do you ever feel like a plastic bag, drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Yeah, me too.
Hello everybody, it's your friendly friend Gail here for another episode of the Miraculous React for Season 4, where today we are looking at Ephemeral, which the description says, what if Ladybug and Cat Noir found about each other's secret identities? Ladybug must decide whether she should reveal Cat Noir's identity so she can remain the Guardian. Which you know what that means? An episode that doesn't matter! Because you know they're gonna retcon it in the end. There's absolutely no way that I believe that they're just gonna come out and say, hey, this is the reveal episode, and then actually commit to the reveal. I don't believe it. I hope they prove me wrong. I am ready for them to prove me wrong, but I am 99.9% sure that this is gonna be an episode where they set up something, and either time shenanigans, brain shenanigans, or they just outright come out and they're like, this isn't canon, or she thinks about it in her head and is like, it's all a dream sequence or something. There's no way they're committing to this. There's no way. I really would love to be proven wrong. I really would. I've been saying for the past 2 episodes that what the show desperately needs right now is some actual progression, plot twist, but it's not. It's episode 20, so we've still got a couple episodes to go. Some of them might have canonically come before this point. You know, we have to take that into account a little bit, but for the most part, we're at the end game. We're in the final episodes of the series, or the season for the series, and so it's really something. There's always something big that happens at the season finale. I mean, it's the big pizzazz ending of the season, and so I'm hoping that there's big stuff coming, but I don't think that this would be the episode they would do it in. I just don't. So I'm already calling it. I think it's not gonna be a permanent thing. I think it's just gonna be more fan fiction, which I'm still excited about. I still would love to see this fan fiction. You know, we got Cat Blanc, which was one way that they could figure out identities. I would love if there was a series of episodes that's just different ways that the reveal could happen until they finally get to the reveal, and it's so anticlimactic. They're just like, oh, okay. Hi, it's me. Your crush. Hi. That would be so funny to me if they were just here's these epic ways that they could get together, and then the canon way is that it just kind of just happens and there's no drama about it. They're just cool. Would that be stupid? Yes, it would be incredibly stupid, but it would also be incredibly funny, at least to me. It'd be funny to me, one person on the internet. So, with that being said, we're just gonna get right into Ephemeral. I'm just gonna have fun with it. Not gonna expect anything from it other than fan fiction. And if I'm proven wrong, I'll probably be doing a fancy dance. just jigging it up when we get back. So, I'll see you in a bit. So yeah, Ephemeral was another one of those theoretical, hey, let's give you what you want scenarios, but look, what you want is actually a horrible, horrible thing, so never want it ever again kind of episodes, which was really funny to me because the whole thing hinges on Gabriel Agreste knowing that his son saying "m'lady" makes him Cat Noir, which is the most flimsy proof of anyone being anything that I've ever seen. His son has been in a music video where he was dressed as Cat Noir. He has seen The Ring. He has literally, he has talked to his son. He probably has access to his computer where he can see a whole bunch of pictures of Ladybug or whatever. But no, the thing that makes him think, oh my gosh, my son is Cat Noir, is because he's on his phone talking to somebody. He goes, haha, can't wait to see him, m'lady. And his first thought is, oh my gosh, my son can't be a fedora wearing incel, so he must be Cat Noir. So yeah, I want to believe that this episode was made in good faith. And what I mean by that is that it wasn't supposed to be belittling to anyone. It was just supposed to be, hey, let's have another fun episode with the reveal, and then we have to take it all back because it can't possibly happen yet, because obviously it isn't the end of the season / it isn't the end of the series, so we're gonna hold on to it forever. So they put forward, hey, you know, you need to learn who Cat Noir is for a very legitimate reason. And then she goes to try to learn and then have Viperian just reverse back, which, you know, at that point, maybe he should have said, oh wait, I already did it, I know who Cat Noir is, we don't need to do this, because he does at this point. I digress. So they basically, they go, they talk, he reveals he's Adrian Agreste, man, and it's like, oh wait, no, whoa, this is important. This is too important to me to let me forget. I cannot forget that my crush is Cat Noir, and that she goes through a hilarious realization, which is something I don't think anybody really was thinking. They would think she would jump him immediately. No, she actually takes some time to be like, oh gosh, these two halves, which one's the real Adrian? And did I fall for someone who's not being themselves? Or, you know, what's about this? Until Luca comes in, he's like, hey, I know you're both, and I think that that's pretty cool, so why can't you? And then they get together, whatever, and they don't have any really cute scenes together. It's kind of pathetic. They're just like, hey, here's a note, and they fight really well, and one phone call, and then he gets akumatized immediately, because his dad's just like, alright, time to start the end of the world, let me bring you down, let me show you your dead mom, and I'm gonna akumatize you, and you're not Cat Blanc this time, you're Ephemeral, who looks 100,000 times worse. Cat Blanc, super cool, super fun. Ephemeral, you don't even know what if Ephemeral's job is just to speed up time, which was basically like Time Tiger's job, but in reverse. So like, really, really boring. And then of course the end of the world happens, so then Sass has to use his powers and blah blah blah. Point being, I want to believe they did this for fun. I want to believe it was like, hey, let's just have fun with the scenario, do fun stuff, and you can see it. But there is parts of the episode that feel kind of angry to me, or like, I don't know, maybe I'm just interpreting it wrong because I'm a 26-year-old who feels disgruntled by some of the choices made in the show. But there are points where they're like, hey, you know, why can't you guys know each other's identities? And they give some bull crap reasons, in my opinion. I personally don't like the idea that, oh, they will get akumatized and then they will know each other's identities and that's the problem. It's never happened though. Like, ever since that's been established as that's the problem, the only time either of them have gotten akumatized is Cat Noir twice, and it's only in the episodes where they figure out each other's identities because his father is Gabriel Agreste, but it's kind of like placed in a specific manner where it's like, oh, Cat Noir only gets akumatized because he knows their identities. See, knowing their identities is such a bad thing, but it's not a threat normally. Like, Gabriel figuring out this time based off of one word is so improbable. It's like, that was such a not likely event to occur, that he just happened to visit his son while his son was on the phone with Ladybug, that his son calls her Milady, you know, and that he knows that that's a thing with Cat Noir, and that the magic thing that's supposed to prevent you from figuring out people's identities didn't kick in. Like, people be talking like Ladybug and Cat Noir all day, and nobody's accusing them of being, you know, the superheroes. So just this miraculous sequence of events happens that causes the reveal to be a bad thing. So that's where it kind of gets me, because it's like, it's almost as if the point of the episode is to tell people, hey, if you want to reveal you want bad things to happen. Like, if you're saying, oh, they should just reveal their identities, it's stupid not to. No, you're the stupid one. You don't get the stakes. You don't understand how dangerous it is. Look, I'm showing you what would happen if they knew, and that's why you're wrong. And then it comes that way again, because, like, you know, towards the end, she's talking to Su Yin, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, Su Han or something. I don't know his name. I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't know his name because he's appeared like 3 times. And he's not a very interesting character. But he shows up and he's just like, this is a bad thing. You can't just let Cat Noir go off with this Miraculous and not know what happened to it. Which is a fair point. Someone needs to know where the Miraculous is. Because what if he's just like, what if Adrian, God forbid, got in an accident, like a car accident, just a normal, everyday event, and then nobody knew where to put the Miraculous, and then it just got sent off as like an heirloom? Or what if it got, stolen during the time, or it gets lost in the crash and nobody know? Like, I guess Plog can potentially come out. I don't know. There's not a lot of rules around this thing. Whether or not Plog can just come out of the Miraculous and show someone where it is. Probably not, because Dusu couldn't do that. Or, Nuru, or any of the other Miraculouses didn't seem to be able to do that. So I don't see why that would be a power now, but they'd make it one just to make it work. But the point being, if you have a superpowered item that you're in control of, and it's your responsibility to take care of, no matter how much you trust the other person, you should probably know who that person is. You wouldn't just send it in the mail to someone and be like, keep track of this. It's important. It can save the world or doom it. So, like, it's a valid point, and their response is, but, like, what if one of us gets akumatized? And, like, well, why don't you guys make yourselves anti-akuma things? Like the little charms. Or how about you just don't get akumatized because you guys know how akumatization works? And how come Felix and Chloe are able to break out, but Adrian isn't? Like, I get that seeing your dead mom after so long is probably very shocking, but still, like, that's really pathetic that both Chloe and Felix, 2 people who are portrayed as really bad people, can break out of this, but our protagonist can't. Twice. So, yeah, it's just like, it was the episode fun? Kinda. I laughed at the absurdity of some of the stuff that was going on, and I'm not gonna say it's a bad episode. Like, that's not my point. My point is, as an adult looking at this writing, it just kind of feels like reactionary, like, targeted writing. And maybe that's just me being, like, soft. Like, maybe that's me just thinking I'm the center of the universe and everybody's talking about me all the time. But it just feels like the episode was geared towards, hey, if this is what you wanted, if you think that we're so silly for having them hide their identities, and you agree with this, the Celestial Master, and you think, it's just about time that they just reveal their identities, here's why you're wrong. Here's why that's a bad idea, and you're wrong, and you should just shut up about it, because every time we do this, it's going to be the same result. Gabriel's going to somehow figure out through some sort of MacGuffin, and then bad things are going to happen. And at least in Cat Blanc, it was reasonable. Like, okay, he wanted to make Marinette sad, because he's never akumatized Marinette. Easiest way to do that is through his son. Great, fantastic. And then accidentally figures out he's Cat Noir. He wasn't expecting that. He just wanted to akumatize a girl, but Adrian protected her as Cat Noir. Like, that is a progression that makes sense. That's something where, okay, they figured it out in kind of accidental way, but at least there was a plan there. This is just freaking, let's just make it happen. He's just eventually gonna know, no matter what. And this is the consequences that happen every time you do it. Also, the ending was really crappy because the whole solving the thing by turning on the clock that everything's scheduled to is what? Like, actually what? No, I'm actually confused. How is magic tied to one satellite clock in space? I don't get it. Like, or that, like, the freaking, like, I don't know, I know everything, like, they were saying everything's tied to this one clock. People, your clock on your wrist it works on its own. It is not satellite connected to the clock in space. You have to adjust it to the clock in space. That is the correct time we all go by, but your wristwatch and the big tower clock and, like, any big clock, any clock that's not electronic, that gets set manually. So pressing buttons in the satellite only fixes your digital stuff. It does not fix your giant clocks that have been there since the 18th century. So that solution's just wacko. Like that's not even in the realm of sensible solutions. That's just cartoon logic saying we don't know how to fix this. So bullcrap. Let's throw bullcrap that has the slightest bit of scientific sounding words in there, like time and measurement, and let's go for it. So yeah, overall, like, again, not a bad episode, just a really silly one that you kind of can already know by the beginning of it. It's not going to actually have any weight. Nothing's ever going to be permanent. The only permanent thing is the Guardian guy at the end being like, man, you know, this really was all about me all along. It was my prejudice and my fears that I was putting on you, Ladybug, and totally not that you needed 9 or so 7, I don't know, I can't remember, it's one of those two number of heroes to stop one guy in a freaking gold case. One guy, and it took that many heroes. And also, point to plot, how does she know who King Monkey is? Like, did anyone miss that? The fact that King Monkey was there, but Marinette never gave King Monkey a Miraculous. She doesn't know who he is. She just, like, he just showed up, and then Master Fu took care of that one. Because, like, King Monkey didn't give his Miraculous back to Marinette and Cat Noir, I don't think. I might be remembering that episode wrong because it's the worst episode. I hate it. I will never watch it again. But I'm pretty sure Master Fu took care of that one and he didn't tell him. The only thing I can think of is that maybe the monkey Kwame told her, but he didn't do anything. So I don't know why she thought she needed him. And Pigarella, Rose's superhero didn't do anything either. Neither did Purple Tigress. Most everybody didn't need to be there, quite honestly. So, there's that. So yeah, overall, I just think it was a messy, like, cluttered episode. I think it's fine. I think it's a little bit of fun to see what the reveal would have been like in this particular scenario. I think it's definitely the fact that Marinette had to reconcile Cat Noir with Adrian and had to take time to do that, kept seeing the parallels. I think that was really creative. I think that's a really fun, not necessarily like a lesson, but like it was a fun interpretation of how her feelings for both characters differ and trying to put those feelings together into one whole person, which is necessary for this kind of reveal. So I thought that was a lot of fun too. I just think that overall it was a bit preachy about like, hey, we're gonna do things our way and this is why that is going to happen. And then the rest of it was bullcrap. Look, we gotta erase everything, so here's how we're gonna erase stuff. Ephemeral was in one shot. One shot. And then it was gone. So, like, I would have been much more happy if Cat Blanc came back and Marinette was like, oh, frick. Would have been so much better, and you wouldn't have had to make a new model for 5 seconds of screen time. But yes. I am not thrilled with this episode, but it's the kind of not thrilled that's fun. So, with that frustration out of my body, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!
Hi there, it's the end of the video, my friend. Hit the bell if it was okay, I'm sure I'll make good content someday. I'll play some games or do some drawing, Pokemon and fights with darling, video essays and reviews. I couldn't do it without you, so thanks, like and subscribe.